In this episode, we're going to talk about why you're not achieving your goals. Okay, why you're not achieving your goals, baby. What's going on? Okay, what's happening? And when we start diving in here, what we have to understand is no matter what your goals are, maybe you set a goal for, you're running a 90-day cycle, and at the end of 90 days, you want to make $10,000 a month. Maybe at the end of 90 days, you want to sell so much product, and so forth and so forth. Okay, so whatever it is, it could be a 90-day cycle. It could be at the end of 30 days. You want to build so much momentum in your company, or you want so many followers on social media, and so forth and so forth. So whatever your goals are for your business as an entrepreneur, for your company, why are you not achieving them? Okay, and I'm really particularly talking to people who are actually working really hard to achieve their goals. If you know that, okay, I sat on a couch, I didn't really work, I sat on a couch watching TV, blah, 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 smoking weed, I could have worked harder, but, I didn't put any time into it. Okay, I'm not talking to you. Okay, you already know why you didn't achieve your goals. Okay, I'm talking to people who are actually hustling. I'm talking to entrepreneurs who are hustlers. Talking to entrepreneurs trying to make it happen for themselves. Okay, that's who I'm talking to. So if you're a hustler, you've been hustling, been working hard, and you're asking yourself, I'm not achieving my goals. Why? This is for you. So let's dive into that. Now, what happens is when we start thinking about we're hustling, we start thinking about, well, I'm not achieving my goals. Usually what happens, you're not looking at it realistically, and you're not looking at it appropriately. Okay, now what we have to do is reassess our goals, because let me give you an example. Most of the time when we set goals, our goals are unrealistic. Okay, now I'm not saying that we should set realistic goals. I know I'm a huge thinker. I'm a big thinker. It's good to think big, and it's good to think huge. Let's shoot for the moon. Okay, you shoot for the moon and maybe you hit the stars. You know what I mean? We've all heard that saying. Okay, so don't take what I'm saying the wrong way. Think big, but when we start to look at our goals, we can't let that deplete us. Okay, that's why I'm saying we have to reassess our goals. Okay, because when we reassess our goals, when we set a huge goal, when we reassess it, that's what our true goal was for that period of time. Okay, so no matter what, when I talked about cycles or 90-day cycles, depending upon how much time you're giving yourself, if you're doing a 30-day cycle, you're doing a 60-day cycle, or a 90-day cycle, maybe even busting it for 6 months, and you still haven't hit that big goal. Okay, why aren't you achieving it? Okay, what the secret is behind it, you're achieving hidden goals that you're not seeing. Okay, the big goal is still there, but that's what I mean. We have to reassess. Okay, I'm going to show you an example here. And this is huge in companies. Even when I work in companies and get hired to do their SEO, they have, especially in marketing, digital marketing, for one, they think anybody can do it. Okay. And two, they think anybody can do it. It's easy, but their expectations is like through the roof. Their expectations are way up here. You know what I mean? So they don't have realistic goals. We have to reassess. And it's the same thing in companies. I do this in companies. You have to reassess what's really going on. So let me give you an example. Okay. So let me do it here. When we reassess our goals, maybe what happens, maybe I'm running a 90-day cycle. So in 90 days, I'm saying at the end of 90 days, I want to be making $10,000 a month. Okay. So now I want to make $10,000 a month in a 90-day cycle. Okay, I busted my butt for 90 days, but I didn't make the $10,000 a month in my business. Okay, then what happens is we start feeling depleted. We basically get sad. Okay, we start thinking, oh, I didn't hit my goal. Okay, what's wrong with me? Okay, what's wrong with my company? Or we give up, we talk ourselves out of it, or we go to our friends, and our friends like, well, it's probably not meant to be. You know what I mean? Which don't listen to them, by the way. You're in business for a purpose, for a reason. So what I mean by reassess, and this is something you have to do it on paper, if you have a dry erase board, whatever, but don't do it mentally. Actually actually talk to yourself and write it out on paper. If you have a team that you're working with, conduct a meeting and you all do it together. If you have business partners, do it with your business partners. But get out of your head. Don't just sit there and think, okay, I do this by myself lots of times, just in my office by myself, to kind of reassessing what I've been going through. So, I'll use myself as an example because it will be easier for me. Okay, when we look at conquering SEO, when we look at, SEO BS, okay? Now, in 90 days, let's say I wanted my business to conquering SEO to generate $10,000 a month. Okay, then let's say I didn't hit that goal. Okay, what I'm going to do is say, okay, this was my major goal for the first 90 days. I didn't hit it. Why? So then I start going back and I start reassessing what I did through the whole 90 days. So I start reassessing. So maybe I come up here and I say, okay, in the beginning, I didn't even have a website up. So I built the website. Okay. Then when I built the website, I started building trainings. Okay. Then through 90 days, I actually built 2 trainings or 2 webinars, free webinars. So I built 2 webinars. Okay, these came with landing pages. Okay. Then I built, which I'm not done with it within 90 days, but then I started to build the membership portal. Okay, so number 4, what I did was I wrote a blog, and then the blog was called SEO BS. And within that SEO BS, it started off as one blog. Then I made a decision I was going to write a blog every single week. So then I started doing that. So basically, I wrote a blog weekly. Okay. Once I started writing a blog weekly, this was kind of at the end of 90 days. I wanted to make a YouTube channel. So I didn't make the YouTube channel yet at this point, but I knew I wanted to make a YouTube channel, but I was thinking about it, strategizing what I wanted to do. So I wanted to make a YouTube channel, but it was going to be a spin-off of all the blogs and a spin-off of the SEO BS. Okay, so this was going to be a brand right here. How I was going to brand everything. Now, within the 90-day cycle, number 6 down here, I was really bad with social media. I knew how to run social media management, because I've worked with big brands before, but what I mean bad, in my own opinion, is I wasn't consistent with it. Okay, so I wanted to get more consistent with posting on social media. So this is an example of what I do. I start thinking about, okay, what did I achieve during the last 90 days. Okay, now my main goal was to make $10,000 every single month from what? From conquering SEO. Okay, let's say I didn't achieve this. Okay, so I start reassessing what everything I did during this 90-day cycle. And what you start finding out is, for one, you did a whole heck of a lot. Okay. Then 2, you start finding little hidden goals in here that you achieved that you never thought about. Make sense? So this is why I said in the beginning, like, maybe you didn't hit your main goal, your big goal, but during this 90-day cycle, during this time frame, maybe this wasn't your ultimate goal. Maybe your ultimate goal was somewhere down here within all these tasks. Okay, so let me keep on going here. Maybe my main goal was to, yes, I build a website, yes, I build a brand, but my main goal here, honestly, rather than the money side, was to start, okay, I'm still doing it, but to start building a brand. Okay, because nobody knows me. Maybe I've been in the industry for 15 years, 16, 17 years. Okay, maybe within my small clique, they know me, but No, but majority of people don't know the Chad, don't know me, okay? So my business is new, okay? So another goal could have been is I'm still building trust and authority in the marketplace. Okay, so this is kind of comes down to trust and authority. My brand kind of starts coming down to the social media that I'm being more consistent about. Building authority on trust and authority on YouTube, building trust and authority up in the brand up on my website. Okay, rather than just throwing up a website, okay, what's your brand? What's your business about? You make sense? It's not just, it's a deeper aspect. When I say, what's your business about? What do you stand for? What do you personally stand for? What do you want your business to stand for? Does that make sense? What type of hobbies are you in? What do you want to be? What charities do you belong with and stuff like that? It's not like you don't want to just go and just copy and go and be involved with stuff that you personally aren't interested in, because people will feel that about you. People will notice that about you. Eventually it will come and it will ruin your brand. Okay. One of the things with branding is, I want to be more authentic. Okay. So I'll write that up there. I want to be more authentic. I'm working on my own self-identity. Okay, so I put identity up here. Okay, then 2, I want to be consistent and persistent. Okay, so I put persistence and consistency up here. Okay. So when you start mapping it out like that, you can start seeing little goals that I achieved or kind of a lot of little goals, maybe 10 little goals that I achieved during this first 90 days that were probably a little bit more realistic than this $10,000 a month over here. Okay. Now, eventually, I'll hit that. Okay. But, reassessing everything will help you out. You need to reassess your goals, okay, at the end of the 90-day cycle. You want to set a big goal because that's going to make you work for it. But the reason why you want to reassess it is because when I don't hit this goal, okay, you don't want it to deplete you. You don't want to give up. You don't want to sit there and say, I didn't hit my big goal, so it doesn't work. No, that's why you need to reassess everything. Okay, because then you start seeing, everything you've done. Then you start seeing, for the first 90 days, yes, I wanted to make $10,000 a month. Okay, for the first 90 days, the tiny little goals I was hitting is I was focusing on my brand. I was getting better at branding. I was getting better at being authentic with my brand. I'm not copying anybody. I'm not copying anybody in the SEO world. I'm doing my own thing. That's being authentic, and that's creating my own identity around my competitors, around the market. I'm not copying nobody. When you go to the website, I built the website myself. I didn't copy it from anybody. So it's a very unique website, okay? Then the big thing I've been doing is being persistent and consistent every single day. Yes, I take days off or the weekend off or I work half of Saturday, but I'm being persistent every single day. So these are more of the major goals that I was going after, that I was hitting during the 90 days. Okay, that's why, it's a little bit confusing how I'm kind of explaining it, but the whole reassessment will be like, okay, yeah, I hit a lot of little goals that I didn't see before. Okay, so that's the key. Okay, the key here is, why you're not hitting your goals, you are hitting your goals, okay, but they're invisible goals that you didn't see, that you didn't know you were hitting, but you're hitting. That, all this stuff, so the good news is, all this stuff leads up to your ultimate goal that you want to hit in the first place. So what do we do from here? In the 90 days, I didn't hit my major goal, okay, but I reassessed everything and I start seeing all the little goals I was hitting. What do we do? Okay, well, it's not rocket science. What do? We do another 90-day cycle, but this is my second 90-day cycle. Now, the second 90-day cycle, maybe this will be, maybe the $10,000 mark will be my my goal again for the second 90-day cycle. Okay, or maybe I'll have a different goal. Maybe this kind of brought me a little bit more in reality to everything. Okay, and I start setting different goals here. But you want your goal high enough that you don't want it easy to hit. Okay, if it's easy, then you're not going to do it, or you're gonna fart around and stuff like that, and you think you're hit it. Okay, so it has to be difficult. Okay, but when you have a really difficult goal, you always need to do this at the end of your 90-day cycle, or at the end of the period, or how long you gave yourself. You always have to reassess, because once you start reassessing, you start looking at it like, damn, I did do a lot. Okay, yeah, I didn't hit my massive goal, but I developed this. I developed this. These are tiny little goals that you need in your business. It's like, damn, okay, but set another 9-day cycle. Keep on going. Okay, this is the fun of being an entrepreneur. Yes, we want to make the money. Yes, that we want the benefits of the whatever you want to achieve. We want the benefits of the money or the lifestyle or so forth, or the recognition or whatever you're going after. But again, just keep at it, baby. Keep at it. Keep rocking. Set a 90-day cycle. Set a new goal, and at the end of that second 90-day cycle, you do the same thing. Okay, maybe you do it every 30 days. You set a 30-day goal. You do the same thing. At the end of 30 days, you reassess everything you did for 30 days. Then you do it again and again and again, and it gets better and better and better. And eventually, whatever your goals are up here, you start hitting your big goals. That's what we're after here. Your big goals. But set a goal. Again, I'm kind of rambling, but sometimes as I keep on talking, things come up. But set a goal that's interested in you. Okay, I'll do a new video on this as well. Goal setting. Set goals that you're into. Okay, I know this seems like common sense. Okay, and I see this a lot with, if you're involved with relationships, or you're married, and so forth, that you end up setting a goal that your partner's interested in, but it's not really your goal. Okay, so set your goals. Okay, because that's what's going to motivate you to do it. Okay, if you're setting goals, but what my goals are, but it's not your goals, okay, you're not going to be motivated. And I see this a lot in couples. When couples are in business, lots of times they're not on the same page with goals, and you each might have your separate goals that you're going after. Okay, but you have to be truthful and say, okay, this is my goal. Okay, and I'll give you an example on this. Maybe it's not money. Maybe your goal is you want to look outside and look in your parking lot or your driveway, and you want to see a Lamborghini. Okay, so maybe your whole goal is a car. Okay, if that's your trigger, then use that as a trigger. Okay, but what I see is maybe your trigger is a car, but you're in a relationship and your partner is, oh, well, my goal is to have, to be involved with this charity over here. So you start changing. You start like, oh, well, yeah, my goal is a charity. Okay, but your real goal is a car. So when you stick a charity up here, you're just like that. So that's what I mean. I know it kind of seems rough and gruff what I'm saying, but, be true to yourself. Okay, go after your personal goals, but that's going to be a trigger on what you want. Okay, our goals isn't better than somebody else's. My goals isn't better than yours. Your goals isn't better than mine. Okay, so, but we have to use it as a trigger, because if we use it as a trigger, that's what I really want. Well, then I'm going to work towards my goal. Okay, maybe I want to be involved with charities. If that's what I really want, well, I'm going to work towards that goal. If I want to see a car in the driveway, well, I'm going to work towards that. If I want to see the house, I'm going to drive towards that, so forth and so forth. So whatever you want, whatever you want to achieve, whatever that goal is, stay true to yourself. Okay, be honest with yourself. Okay, if you're in a relationship and you guys are commingled inside the business, well, you guys are going to set different goals, and you guys have to be aware of that. Okay, my goal might be different from my significant other's goal. Okay, but she has her motivation and her triggers, and I have my own motivation and my triggers and my goals. Okay, now sometimes they commingle together. Sometimes you guys want the same thing, but lots of times in relationships, that's not the fact. Okay, well, that's one of the reasons why sometimes you don't achieve your goals as well, because it's not what you truly want. Okay, so I don't want to get off on a tangent here, but anyway, start another 90-day cycle. Set a goal. Then at the end of 90 days, reassess everything that you've done. And within your reassessment, you will find that you've hit small little goals, and you will find a bigger goal in here that you really needed to achieve, that you can hit your ultimate goal.